Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette here from hot and humid Brisbane in Australia. My last Flosstube was in June and I've been meaning to make another one since, but life has just been busy. Last time I filmed I hadn't long moved into this new place where my son and his family are upstairs and I am downstairs. It's just been busy. It's been good and busy. Most exciting news though is in October I have now got a 6th grandchild. I have 5 granddaughters and now I have a grandson. This is today's photo. Isn't he cute? So one of my finishes was a cross stitch for him, and it was out of a magazine, and it was trucks and ambulances and cranes, and each one had a letter. And so I wrote, because he's now got 4 names, because he's Riley J and his second name is after my husband Andrew, and then his surname, so it went Riley J Andrew and his surname on it, which was really lovely, and they enjoyed getting that. So I got to visit for a week, and they'll be up, they're in Sydney and they'll be up here mid-January, so I have to wait to them to get another cuddle. But that was our most exciting news. So I've put some notes together because I couldn't remember what I'd done. I looked up I meant to film after AB Singo, and so I've got some of the projects that I did for that and some of the finishes, but there's 2 finishes I don't know what I've done with. I've turned the place upside down. I might know, like a living space and a bedroom and a cupboard, and it's not a big space, but I can lose things. Anyway, a couple of the finishes. I'll start with the fully finished. So this was Gathering Together Pinkeep by Scattered Seed Samplers, and I've made it into a project bag. And there will be links down below for all of this. I've typed all that up already. So I really enjoyed stitching this. I got it from Number 12 Stitch Co. on Etsy here in Australia, and it was actually a kit. I don't very often buy kits, but it was 36 count linen, and it was just a lovely stitch. So that is my fully finish. And it's just got clips, so it just clips down and for little projects. So then I also finished in that AB Singo thing, I finished this that I'd had going for ages, and this is the Caterpillar cross stitch. It was the Hello Dear SAL, and they've since done, I think, the other seasons as well, but I finally finished that, and I quite enjoyed finishing that as well. So the other finishes I had, which I've got on my notes, they'll be linked, but I don't know where the projects have gone. Starry Stable Nativity by Tempting Tangles was a stitch along, and I dyed a little piece of blue fabric, and it's finished, but I don't know where it is. And about the same time I also finished the Our Forest 2024 stitch along, which was mushrooms and toadstools, and I actually didn't complete the bottom bit because I love mushrooms and toadstools, which was why I started, but I just decided I had other things to finish, so I didn't finish it. And hopefully I can find it before next video and show you. The other thing, there's a few crossovers with groupings here, but I had a birthday recently, and there's a stitchy group of us, and we get together, and one of my friends bought me this book, which is a junk journal, and at the same time it was just tied. Another friend had been clearing out her sister-in-law's place and found all this amazing stash, and one of the things she found was this buckle, and it just sorry, just getting it. So it just unbuckles. It's just a catch. So I stitched it to the lace that was originally used as a I thought it was a beautiful place to put this. And junk journals, if you know, they've just got pages and sort of things in them you can write. What I decided to do was add some of previous cross stitch pieces that have been in a box for ages. And I had these 2 roses that I did literally last century sitting there. And originally I'd intended on framing them in a round frame, but I never got round to it, so I decided to stitch them in here. So there's one, and this has got roses, so it sort of went with that. And there's another one, there were 2 of them. I'll find the other one. Here's the other one. And all I've done is stitch through there and through the page. And you can see the stitching on the back, but I will stitch. This came with the journal, so I'll probably I might even cut a strip and just stick it over the stitching at the back. And I also have in here a little sampler from Shepherd's Bush. And when going through my projects, I found I had a finished one, and I've also got a partly finished one. Anyway, so I've done the same thing. I've stitched that in there. And this was like a frame, so it sort of went in there quite well. And then I've still got a couple more things that I found. I used to love Holly Hobby applique. I've got this. I'll work out some way of putting that in there. And a cute little kit from years back that was stuck in a card. I think it's just the little Country Companions hedgehog from the UK. So I'll put those in there as well. But it's just fun. And now I've got my lovely buckle. Which I can just, I don't know that I can show you on camera. It just slides in and buckles together. So I'm going to show, tomorrow I'm going to show the lady who gave me this. Oh, look, I've just accidentally done that. Oh, maybe I'll put him on the front. I'll show the lady tomorrow what I've done with one of her buckles. She had some most beautiful, beautiful buttons. There was one that 6 of them, and they've got little petals around them. Beautiful. Anyway, that was the place I put that. So then I've had quite a few new starts. Let me just get a drink. It's very dry here. Well, it's humid, but I'm dry. Kim Hollenbeck, who's on full coverage Fanatics, decided that we should use up the strips of fabric from down the side of our full coverage pieces, and so we should use the Randall Spangler Story Keep ones, and I'd already had a couple, so I decided to start this one. So you can find them on Heaven on Earth Designs under Randall Spangler, and I've done really well. I think I'm about 10% or something like that already. I should have written down my figures, I forgot. So it's got the dragon, very hard to see on this little printout, but there it says medieval history up the top, and it's got this cute dragon, and I love these dragons. Now, I hadn't done any full coverage since I finished my son's Cruising the Information Highway from Randall Spangler earlier this year, and I've really enjoyed getting back into it. Then on my birthday, what popped up but a new long dog sampler called the Fisher King, and I've been telling myself I could not start another long dog sampler until I finished Death by Cross Stitch, but come on, it came out on my birthday, what was I to do? And I had fabric and thread, so I've started this. I've just done this bit up in here I'm working on. It doesn't even have a project bag. So I'm using Mrs. Sedus silks that I bought ages ago, a skein, and I just roll mine into a ball and then cut them off because I'm a knitter, that's what you do. I can't remember what colour it is, but, and then for the detail in backstitch where I need a different colour, I've got DMC 3750 with just one strand, just to add those little backstitch details. So I was really enjoying that, and I haven't done much of that since the beginning of November because I've been stuffing around with other things. Well, not stuffing around, but anyway. So that's a new start. And then just 2 days ago. I've had, well, let's work in different order. I noticed, because I did that our Forest Embroidery one, I do like their stitch alongs, and they put out the frame for their New Year one, so I started it. So have I got any details on here? Yes, this is a 20 count Zweigart Aida of, I don't know what colour, I purchased recently. I've been watching the Dutch stitcher. I really enjoy her, and she uses 20 count Aida a lot, and I've never used 20 count. I've used 22 for my full coverage. So I got some, and so this is the first block, and it's called 12 Months, and they do actually have the month, like a little placard with the month, both in Russian and English. I won't do that initially. I'll do the border, and I'll leave some of this space free because they're Northern Hemisphere and I'm Southern Hemisphere. The months won't necessarily line up with the content, so I mightn't do the months at all. I might just finish the border, but there's 12 borders like this. That's about the bottom. So there's 12 of these, so you can stitch all your border, be ready to start in the new year. So that's that one, and I'm trying to do a little bit of that each day, and I'm just using DMC 367, which is their DMC conversion number. And then, since I was in a bit of an Owl Forest mood, and I've had it in my cart for a long time, and my middle granddaughter, I guess you'd call her, somewhere there, she's 10. She and I have been crocheting. She's just learned to crochet. She just really got the hang of it. It was just so easy to teach her. But she loves pandas, and they're away for the week. Everyone's away at the moment, which is why I decided to film today. My son is overseas at a conference. My daughter-in-law is at work, and because she works Friday and Saturday morning, she sent the grandchildren to their other grandparents. So I have the place to myself, and I thought, well, I better get a Flosstube done while I'm not going to be interrupted. Anyway, this is for Lucy. She loves pandas, and it should be a fairly quick stitch. And the only green fabric I had was a 28 count linen. I'm really enjoying the higher counts, but it was actually quite fun to do 2/2 on this green 28 count that I don't know any more about it. I've had it for a while, and so I made a start. I've got it the wrong way here. It's the bamboo. This is the start of that. This panda here. So I'll do a bit more of that. She'll be so excited when I show her that. I'm not going to keep it as a surprise, because if I tell her, she'll keep me on it, keeping me at it. So that was that. That was a new start. What else have I got here? So that's all my new starts for the moment. Excuse me. So then we get into whips. So we get into the Fox and Rabbit 2024 mystery, which has been done in hits and bits and pieces. So at one stage I was working on enough of the previous month to get to the next month. I think this might have been the start of October, and I haven't touched it since. But I would like to get back to this. I have enjoyed doing it. I think it's a 40 count. It's a Zweigart linen, and the thread is Silks for You PR126. And I've just rolled it in balls, and then I cut off some to put on thread drops. I don't usually use thread drops, but for this it's quite good. So we'll see what happens with that, but I really want to do next year's as well. So I've worked out what I need, and I'll just have to go through my stash and see if I've got a fabric for next year. Trouble was this year, I just love stitch alongs, but you can't keep up with all of them. So I was very pleased to finish the mushroom one and the tempting Tangles one. That's just in a pencil case with a side pocket. I put the silks in. from our office works here, and it was a fox. It was just meant to be. Now, my big focus that I really want to finish in the next few months is Death by Cross Stitch. So the magazine monthly challenge group I'm in, which is part of Carolyn Zook's and Robin's making, I guess, has the monthly challenge you get. You can see I put a lot in December. Well, November's I got halfway through and I had about 4 or 5 of the prompts all with Death by Cross Stitch. Didn't put any others on, but I did make good progress on Death by Cross Stitch. So this is the top. And if I go like this, I've got to the bottom of that corner there. So that page is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, I think, 13. And so I've got to go across and do the rest of this here. So this particular section is symmetrical. So I was trying to finish it off before I moved on, but I might just end up moving on anyway and come back to it. Sorry if you've disappeared behind it. Yeah. And I wasn't really enjoying stitching on it, so I really want to finish it. And there's my lovely long dog needle minder that a lady here, Lisa, I can't remember her Etsy shop, but she made it out of a vintage brooch, and I just had to have that for my long dogs. Yep. So this started in 2016. We worked out because it's on the thing here, it's some down here, it says 2016, which was their 10th anniversary of her starting her company. So it's been on the go since pretty much 2016. It needs to be finished before I hit 10 years from then. And that's in, I know Carolyn likes this bag, Carolyn Zook loves this bag. This was a Carolyn Manning Designs, I think it's called Flower Diamonds, and you can find it on the, I've forgotten, it's the English cross stitch website, did it as a stitch along, and so you can still find that there. All right, what else have I got? So that's that page. I've been collecting the country cottage sampling houses, and my plan had been, like, if you watch Brenda Handwork Maniac, she's been doing them all, and she's doing them all on one big page, one piece of fabric, and every time one comes out she would start it and stitch on it, and then she'd go back to others, and she's finished quite a few. Mine were all on individual pieces, and the plan was to do the same as her to start them, but I didn't, so I'm just waiting on the last one. We're a little bit behind getting the patterns here, but I was on an auto ship for that, so I'm waiting for the last 2 to come in because they did a 13th one, so I might switch one of the others out for the Tudor house. So now we move on to other whips that I haven't been working on, but I am planning on working on, and I've joined Whip Warriors. I think I joined this once before and wasn't overly successful, but they've got a diary out. You just get it on Amazon, and the lady who designs it, she's in Australia, so it's really handy. I mean, it doesn't matter, you can get it from anywhere. But they've got a whole lot of things in. They've got bingo, there's a bingo board in there somewhere, so I can put my Bringo in there when, or your Whip Go, not Whip, yeah, Whip Go. Yeah, there's a Whip Go board in there as well. So I thought I'd give it a go. So I've joined the 25 in 25 group. I can't remember all the parameters now. So I've started an album in the group, and these are some of the things I'll put in there for that. And these will also hopefully tie in to the magazine monthly challenge. And I guess it's a bit late now to fill in December. I printed it off when it first came out and just never got back to it. We'll do better next year. So I've had this Heaven and Earth design. It was a freebie. Does it have a copyright on it? 2008. And it's been at about, well, I guess, I'm at about sort of here, so probably not really halfway. But now I've got it in Pattern Keeper, because originally it was just a paper, but I've now, not Pattern Keeper, I use markup. So that'll be fun. So I'd like to finish that as well. So obviously Death by Cross Stitch is in this with Warriors thing. So that's that cutie. It's just in a beautiful project bag I made myself. My daughter bought me this one year from Fox and Rabbit when it was linen and threads? Whatever it was for Fox and Rabbit. I went on and I put a few things down and she chose one, and this is the one she bought me. It was inch by inch, row by row, X's make my sampler grow by Scarlett House, and I've got a tiny little start. I've got the little 1/1 dog and obviously the top of the house. And what have I got in here? Because I haven't had this, taken this out for a while. So I've got some silks for you. Okay, those three are all silks for you. So I've obviously got to work out what I want to do with the rest of the threads. So that's the house, obviously the chimney, the roof, and the sides of the house. I mean, it's only little, but 119 by 64, not very big at all. So I should be able to finish that one by the end of next year. Start another pile here. Oh, it's all going to fall over. We've done the baby picture. That can go over the road. Perseverance by Tempting Tangles. I started this when it came out. I can't remember. Was it 12 months ago? It was just after my husband passed away, and I thought Perseverance was a good thing to stitch, but it sort of fell off the rails. But I do like stitching it when I get back on. It was a mystery. It's fully released now, but I'm not looking. I'm keeping it as a mystery. So I've got the charts, and I'll just... So Perseverance is still king, and I don't know what the rest of it says. So I'd like to get back to that. And I had a bit of a Tempting Tangles stitch along bug this year. I bought 4. I did the Starry Stable, which I finished and can't find. I did Smaug, which is not finished yet, but this is also finished, the stitch along. But this was fun, and I was really enjoying it. And then I decided to finish the Starry Stables. If you want to see a finished one, Stuart, who's on Flosstube, has been doing it. So, what are we? We're halfway through December. Yeah, I think that'll be probably next year finish, because I want to work on those pandas and things. So, and then I also started... I didn't start. I signed up for the Paisly Hope one of hers. I haven't started it, but I did discover that CK's Stitches in Australia sells the dinky dies. So I went and bought the dinky dies and then didn't start it. Gosh, sorry, it's got really overcast here at the moment. Yeah, that's not bad. So this is just a 22 count Aida I'm going to do it on, or Haardanger. So that's all in a little pouch here, all together with the printouts of the... I find it easier to print Tempting Tangles patterns out than put them into markup, and I stick them together so I can see what's going on from one chart to another. I've just found that's the easiest way to do them. And then the other one I can't find was their log cabin SAL, which I started, and it was just supposed to be a pleasant pick up when you feel like it. It's on a lovely raw linen, and I don't know where it's gone either. it should have been sitting with the other ones. Yeah, and I've made a bit of a mess. If you could see my place, there's project bags and things lying all over the place because I thought if I start cleaning up, I'll never get round to filming this before my daughter-in-law gets home. Not that that's a problem, it's just, it's quieter. So then we move on to things that I actually want to start. Well, the Paisly Hope stitch along should have been in there. Now, I have made each of my grandchildren and my 3 children and their partners and all the grandchildren have all got a Christmas stocking that I've made for them. Most of them are cross-stitched. The one I made for my son-in-law in Sydney is, it was hexagons, but I did do a little pocket with a cross-stitch. So I need one for Riley. And my deadline is always their second Christmas, which was really smart since he was born in October. And I found this one came out by Carriage House Samplings. I just love this. I think this will be so fun. The only problem is going to be, it's going to be a bit narrow. I did some of the Shepherd's Bush stockings on the 18 count Flover. Not everyone's got the same designer, but this one I think, so on, and I've got a 40 count, lovely 40 count Zweigart Platinum. I got this at the Stitches Merchant. I think I've probably got the pattern there too. She's in Glen Innes here in Australia, and Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher is coming out, and I'm just, my friend Jenny and I are just debating whether we can get there for it. I need to check it out. Anyway, getting back to this. This says 8.5 inches wide. Now, 8.5 inches wide means from here to here. So that means this stocking's only going to be 4 inches wide. Could be a bit narrow for a kid's stocking. Anyway, I'll see. I'm going to start it. I want to start it anyway. I love it. I've also got her Noah's stocking on the go. So I want to start that soon. Then my friend Jenny we both bought the same pattern a couple of years ago, but she hadn't kit mine up for me with threads, and it was Glad Tidings by Lindy Stitches. And then we decided this year we would start it. Well, we've got all the threads, we've got everything, but we still haven't started it. Considering we're halfway through December, I probably should. So I've got from this fabric from Paddock Lane Designs here in Australia. It's a smoky 18 count Aida. Hers is blue, but I think this will go quite well. And we're going to do the Gloria one. Oops. And these are the threads that Jenny kitted up for me. So we'll do this Good Tidings one. That'll be fun. It'll be a nice relaxing stitch, I think, with Lindy's pattern. I'm just going down my list so I don't miss stuff. So we have a shop here called The Nest. It started off as a support group, and they teach people to do craft and provide a community for women. And they had like a stash leftover section. It just took off so much that they had to get new premises, and it's now only about 3K from me. So it's a lot of fun to wander in there. I've got my 3 granddaughters who live here with me to look after on Wednesday while their mum's at work, and the one who started crocheting is desperate to go and see what they've got. So I'm going to take them on Wednesday. That'll be very interesting. But I picked this up the other day, and it's a Vivaco kit, and it looks like they've only got numbers. Must have been from 2002. I think the design is 35.478. They don't seem to have a name. It was actually started on... Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of a start there. But this is 14 count Aida. I won't do it on the 14. I'll find something smaller, and it won't be very big. I don't know whether they've got a stitch count on it. I can work it out. It's 150 wide by 70 high. So I thought I might do that for Riley as well, since the one I've made him has just got his name on it. This one I can obviously put his name and details on here. And I just like the sepia, so that's a possibility. Some of these, if I want to include them in the Whip Warriors group, I'll have to start them before the end of the year. You've got to have 200 stitches in or something for a start. And then I've got 2 Teresa Kogets. So this one, my son gave me for Mother's Day, my son gave me some money for it for Mother's Day. So it was Remember Me, because I really want to do a Teresa Kogut. And I've got a 36 count vintage country mocha, Edinburgh. So that's for that. No threads in there. And I've also got another Teresa Kogut, because we've got very exciting news here. So there's that shop I was telling you about called The Nest. But in the next set of shops further down, we are getting a cross-stitch shop. It's going to be called Coco Stitches. And she's just getting herself organised. And I walked down after I'd been to The Nest the other day to see if I could find where her shop was, and she was there. She's got a whole lot of Teresa Kogut patterns, and one of which was she had some of these ready to stock. She's having issues with the air conditioning. You can't open a shop here without air conditioning at this time of year, so she's just trying to sort that out. Anyway, she had this, and I thought, oh, I've got this. I bought this. I desperately had to have it the year it came out at market. And I've got fabric, which is also, it's 40 count country vintage mocha. So I've got that, and there's a couple of threads in here. I've probably just bought the threads to start the top border, I'd say. Sometimes I do that. I'll just buy a few threads so I can start, because these are all Weeks Dye Works for me. There's a couple of DMC and a Classic Colour Works. But I really want to start this so that even if it's partly started, it can go in the new shop for a bit of a model stitch. So I pulled out a whole lot of previous finishes for them to use as model stitches, because, you know, it's going to take them a while to get that together. So maybe I'll start this sooner than later. One of those Teresa Kogets needs to be started. What else have I got on my list? Okay. So that day I was at the Nest, the stash shop. I found this. $10. Now the interesting thing, this is designed, it's called the Wisdom Sampler. It's designed by Donna Vermillion Giampa, who's since passed away. But Brenda, the handwork maniac, was actually starting it, and she's also doing a piece in a kit from Elsa Williams, which was like a fishing scene for her father, I think. And it was just weird, because I go, oh, I've just picked this up at the shop. It's Elsa Williams, but it's the Wisdom Sampler. And so obviously Elsa Williams kitted it up and was able to sell it as a kit. So it's all there. And again, I will change that fabric. It might be a 16 count, does it say? No, it says it's a 14 count. But I won't do it on 14 count, Ada. I'll probably do it on a nice linen or something. But I really want to start that one as well. But that was just interesting when Brenda was showing it, and I realised I just purchased it for $10, which is probably $5 US. So then we've got Bringo coming up in the magazine, in the magazine monthly challenge group. I've started on my Bringo plans. I write everything on here. She gives you a sheet, you know, she gives you your prompts, and you can write your thing in here, but I find it just as easy just to write it all on the sheet, and then I don't have to look up 2 bits of paper. So I've got a few things on here. I've got Camberley Manor sampler by Rosewood Manor. Its prompt was something that we were inspired to start, and Carolyn inspired me to start that. She started as well. The Fisher King, because it's a monochromatic, that's one. I've got Cats Reading by, name's gone. That's a Heaven and Earth design. Irina Garmashova, she does a lot of cat ones. I've actually finished the first page, so you had to have a prompt that was inspired by a pet, and it's got cats on it. So I've got, you know, friends, my daughter's got cats. Carolyn's got cats. A vacation project, I've got Death by Cross Stitch on that, because I always take it with me when I go on holidays, because it's monochromatic as well. I actually find that quite easy to finish. Have I got anything else on here? Fisher King is on there again a couple of times. You've got to do one by your star sign, which I'm not really into star signs, but it was a birthday start, so I thought the Fisher King. You've got to have something with more than 10 colours, so I'll do that Spangler Medieval History. I think that's as far as I've got with it. So this will start in January, so there'll be a fun way to do it. So she calls a number the night before, which ends up being late morning our time. So like Jenny, my friend, she does this. We love doing these maybe Singo and Baringo ones. So we just more or less just started on the day it's called in the afternoon, in the evening. Yep, so that's, I need to finish sorting that out. And now I've just made this big mess everywhere. It's probably a good time to, as I'm putting things away, look at what might fit on here. So I think that's it. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And it would be really nice if I could be more consistent with Flosstubes. I've said this ever since I started. I just get busy with things, but maybe it would be a good plan if I tried to film a Flosstube on the first week of each month, maybe something like that. I also knit and crochet, and I'm trying to finish a mosaic crochet blanket at the moment. I've only got 3 rounds to go, which doesn't sound a lot, but they're fairly large. It's huge. I'll try and work out maybe how to show you in January, and I've got another one on the go and some knitting as well. Jenny and I and a couple of other ladies from the knitting shop at, if you're in Australia, it's that yarn place, it's at Samford. We go there every Friday morning. It's a lovely group of people, it's a lovely shop, they sell online. But Stephen West's hibernating knit-along begins on the 26th of December. It's not a mystery, he shows you what the pattern is. I bought my yarn for it, so I'll be starting that after Christmas. We've started ourselves a little Facebook group for it, and we just decided we will start after Christmas, not necessarily on the 26th, just in the last week of December. So that'll be fun as well. And apart from the fact I'm doing a bit of study and I also work, I pack a lot in, and I'm really enjoying the grandchildren. So have a great rest of the year, and I'll see you in January. Bye.